Good morning everyone. Did you know there's an insulated water jug made in the Philippines by Orocan? This is what it sounds like with ice inside compared to what you would usually hear with people's insulated bottles. I found this because it's been so hot recently. You've probably seen how there's even a heat break for MMDA enforcers right now. And I was thinking, is there any product made in the Philippines so you can support a local business, you can support local manufacturing? And then I found this from Orocan, and actually I was surprised because when you go around the mall or the market, you see Orocan tabo, you see buckets and things like that, but I never knew they made a water jug. So basically it has a twist top like that where you can drink out of. It's nice and cold. The other option is, if you want the wide mouth, you unscrew the whole lid and then look at that, very wide. So as you can imagine, this is extremely easy to clean. If you've ever tried to clean one like this, you know it can be quite difficult. You have to have a special brush and everything like that. So this is actually really cool. If you look on the bottom of it, you'll see two things. Firstly, it says proudly made in the Philippines, and secondly, it says PP with a number 3 inside the recycling symbol. What that means is that this uses polypropylene, and you can Google that and you can find that this is food safe. Why do I mention that? Well, there's other products on the market like this one here. It's cheaper, it doesn't feel anywhere near as good, and it doesn't say what type of plastic it is. Is it food safe? I don't know. I asked the sellers, because there's many people selling this. They've sold thousands of them. I said, what kind of plastic is it? We don't know, sir. Huh? You're selling a product like this that people are going to drink out of every day, and you don't know what kind of plastic it's made from? How do you know that it's food safe? There's no markings on here either about recycling. Oops, that's another problem. I don't know if you saw that. It just spilled out on me because this one leaks, right? Look at that. So you get what you pay for. Everybody knows that Orocan is a good brand. If you put a lot of ice on this and then you turn it upside down, you may get some sweat because the top lid, it's not insulated, you see? It's just plastic. But what it does have that its competitors doesn't is a rubber O-ring on the inside. Compare it to this one and another very popular brand, which I'll be showing you in the future. Orocan put a rubber seal there to stop it or help it from leaking. Honestly, when you feel the Orocan and you feel the competitors, there is no comparison. This one is so solid. I feel like I could drop this a ton of times. And that's something that's important actually, because these insulated flasks, which we're all got used to, there's one big problem for me anyway. If you drop them, sometimes what happens, even if it's from a short distance, like off the edge of a table or something, it actually breaks the seal between the two different pieces of metal. And once you lose that vacuum, that's it. All the water sweats to the outside if you have ice in here, and it gets warm pretty quickly. With this, because they're using foam, I can drop this and it's not really that big a deal. Unless you have like this cheap one, I'm pretty sure that if we drop this, it's just gonna crack straight away. We will try it. Now, around 15 minutes ago, I put ice and water inside this vacuum flask, and hopefully you can see there it's reading around 0.9 Celsius, and it's actually hovering between 0.9 and 1 degree Celsius. And I put the same amount of water and ice into the Orocan, and it looks like the Orocan's coming in at 1.5. It's hovering between 1.4 and 1.5. So you can already see a small difference, but honestly, I don't think you're going to notice that when you're drinking. But as more and more hours pass, yeah, you will notice it. But I can tell you that I've been testing this for a long time now. I put water and ice in the morning, and in the evening it's still cold. But by the next morning, it's not room temperature, but definitely you notice it's not that cold anymore compared to the vacuum flasks where it could still be cold. So if you just need one day, the Orocan is good enough in my testing. But if you need multiple days, then maybe you want the vacuum flask. Anyway, let's come back in an hour and see what they're like. I might have lost my mind. I've just filled both of these halfway, the Orocan and then the unknown brand. I say unknown brand because when I asked the sellers who makes this, I got a few different answers. And some people said it's made in the Philippines, some people said it's not. So honestly, I don't know with this one. It does say, what does it say underneath? Uniwear. And I found a company in the Philippines called Uniwear, and I tried to call them because I wanted to ask, is this your product? Because I don't know, would you put this on your product if it's made in the Philippines? I'm not sure. Anyway, I couldn't reach anyone. So both of these are filled halfway with water, and we're going to do a drop test. So I just finished the drop tests. I'll cut in the footage. I'm watching it on my cell phone. So from a 4-foot drop, I originally thought the pink one from the other brand survived, but then I realized it's leaking out water from the bottom. And then when I did the 6-foot drop, the plastic just completely smashed apart and all the water came out, and that's what you'll see here. So this gives you an idea of the type of plastic. Honestly, the plastic, it's not that good. Look, it's pretty brittle. I think you can see there, even the foam insulation is broken apart. So yes, it's cheaper, but the moment you touch it, you're like, it's not that good quality. It leaks, it doesn't have a seal. Even this, like the spout, is kind of rubbish, and if you drop it even from 4 feet, it was already leaking because it already cracked something underneath. So I don't know, maybe it's worth it to someone if you want something cheap and you just leave it in one place. Maybe it's okay because it is foam insulated. But if you spend a little bit more, not only are you guaranteed to be supporting local manufacturing, but look at this. Oh, let me cut in the footage. So when I dropped it from 4 feet, it actually bounced and then smashed into the camera, and then no problem. I looked at it, inspected it, there's no leaks, barely any damage, just a couple of scratches. Dropped it from 6 feet, again it just bounced. And I don't know, it's something majestic about watching the Orocan tumble in the air. But look, this is 2 liters and I filled both of them half full of water. Can barely even see a scratch. There's some marks, like you can see this one got a little bit, let me see if I can bring it closer. I'm not sure if you'll see on camera, but it's a little bit scratched up. But look, this one, still working fine, no problem. The main, oh, I did it tight. There you go. The main cap, no problem. The rubber seal inside, let's see, is it still leak proof? Let's try. Bear in mind, you're not going to be dropping this from 6 feet that often. That's, you know, that's pretty high. Let's see if it leaks. Nothing. See? You wouldn't even know, honestly. You wouldn't believe that this has been dropped by from 6 feet. So that's what I expect from Orocan, right? They have the brand recognition. Very happy with that. Because this is one of my problems, what I was saying earlier. Why don't I just want to buy one of these? Well, firstly, this is not made in the Philippines. Pretty much all of them that I can find are made in China, which is okay, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but I want to support a local company, so that's why I wanted something like this. And it has the benefit that even if I drop this, I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. The downside is, yeah, it's kind of bulky, but bear in mind this is the 2-liter version. Let's cut both of these open so we can take a look inside. Problem with this one is the plastic's cracking too easily to even cut through it. I think it'd be easier if I just break it off with my hands. Okay, so if you wondered why there are screws on the bottom of it, they screw into the inner plastic between the foam. Let's get an idea of how thick the foam is. There you go. Pretty thin really. We'll put that to the side so we can compare it. Now I'm hoping the Orocan might actually be a little bit easier to saw just because the plastic feels a bit tougher, but let's see. And I just realized that some people might complain, why are you destroying a perfectly good product? Yeah, that's a fair point, but I want to show you the difference. Because it's not enough just to tell people, you have to show them, and I don't know how else I can show you. So we have the outer plastic, it's very strong. We have this foam, see how thick that is? And then we have the inner plastic, which is also very strong. You're getting a better quality product. It's a little bit expensive, but still, it's quite affordable for, I'd say, most people. And they do have an air gap at the bottom. I'm guessing that might also be what helped protect it from the fall, because if you look here, they actually have these standoffs. See that? So when it falls, you have something to kind of protect it. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to make products like this, but I know that this is better. So that was just a quick video. I'm covered in dust. I have to clean up and everything like that. But Orocan Cool It water jug, insulated water jug. You can buy this one for like 150 pesos, the bigger one for around 200 pesos. Depends on the seller. And you're supporting locally made products here in the Philippines. So I think it's pretty cool. And actually, if anyone enjoys this video, I don't know if they will, they have a plus version, which I think is like the upgraded version. And this one actually has a lot of nice things about it too. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll make a follow-up video about this one. And maybe we'll even compare it against the Coleman, which is another classic brand, allegedly made in the USA. I say allegedly because when I look at the quality of this model, it makes me wonder. Anyway, Cool It from Orocan, Coleman, I don't know what they call it, beverage cooler. If you want to see a comparison head to head, let me know. Thanks for watching. Oops, I almost forgot about our temperature test. It's actually been 1 hour. So let's go ahead and take our next reading. I'm still waiting for it to get a reading. The thing I'm worried about is 1 hour is not that long really. So I don't know how much of a difference we're going to see in the temperature. So yeah, actually this one is still at 0.9. And let's go ahead and test our Orocan. It's just updating the temperature, and I realized what I should have done is also just got a regular glass with water and ice and measured that temperature. Anyway, looks like it's settled now at around 2.8 degrees Celsius. So honestly, like I said earlier, it's not as efficient as a vacuum wall flask, but it also has its own pros and it's locally made. So thanks for watching.